Well, hey there, Real WW Talk. It's Erin. We are wrapping up 2021 and heading into 2022. Of course, you may be listening to this and it is 2022. Hard to believe we're already here in a new year, isn't it? I was out shopping on my Christmas vacation and I saw this and bought it for myself because, when you're in home goods, you got to come away with something, right? But I want to share this to you because I think that this is something that I have needed this year. It's just a little block with some inspirational sayings, but one side says, always have hope. The other side says, be joyful in hope and dare to believe. I think that these sayings kind of sum up the last half of the year for me. You've heard us talk in our conversations. I've said that the front half of this year was really, really difficult for me, and I really don't want to repeat, ever repeat the front half of 2021. But when we go through hard things, it does lead to growth. My grandmother, she is the most incredible gardener in the world, and she had given us this lilac bush, and it just wasn't growing. And she said, "Well, have you agitated the root?" And we were like, What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, she's for the lilac bush to grow, you've got to agitate it a little bit, the base of the tree." And we're like, "We're still not quite getting this." And she said, "Just go get a chain and rub it across the bottom of the tree." And she said, "That little bit of friction will help it to grow." And so this year, that's what's happened to me. I mean, I think it was a pretty big chain that was rubbed at the base of my tree. But hopefully that means even more growth. And maybe that's where you are right now. You are feeling friction and you were in the midst of friction and you are not feeling a way out. You are not seeing a way out. I want to tell you that growth will come. But in order to get there too, it needs water. And you got to take care of yourself. You have to water yourself as you go through this rub. I learned for me that our conversations that we had as part of Real WW Talk, those were water for me. They were water for my mind, they were water for my soul, and they helped build hope in me. Even though it didn't feel like it at times, if you probably listened to me cry one or two times on the podcast. But they were the beginning stages for me of building something new. A couple things that I learned this year. I learned that my boundaries are terrible. They were trash. My boundaries were absolutely trash. And takers will always take what a giver gives, right? I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. And I realized that I was giving way too much of myself away to something that didn't really appreciate it. And I needed to take better stock, not to withdraw from those things, but to go, is this my best yes? Is this the best thing that I can be giving myself away to? And that was kind of an eye-opening thought for me. I would always look at something and go, am I the best fit for, whatever this thing is? Maybe it's a volunteer opportunity, or, I drop everything and run to go help someone instead of saying, hey, you know what? Let me help you tomorrow. I learned to stop and ask, should I be doing this right now? I think one of the other things that was really powerful for me this year too was turning my laptop off at 4 p.m. every day. I take what I would call my therapeutic walks, and I still do that even though it's gotten frigid here. Can you believe this? Like, I actually go out and walk in the cold. Like, I would not have done this time last year at all. But I'm even taking morning walks, and I bundle up, and it's 6:30 a.m. and I'm out walking in 29-degree weather. Who am I? But I will tell you that that began to build some discipline and some consistency that was badly needed in my life. All of those things have kind of worked together to make a better version of Erin that is still being worked on right now. So, as we think about 2022, what do you want for yourself? How do you want to grow yourself in 2022? Maybe it isn't even that you're growing yourself, but maybe you're deepening something that already exists. Maybe you have just been killing it with your Peloton or Peloton workouts and you maybe want to take a little bit deeper on that, or maybe you want to take your rides and now really build endurance with them, or maybe you're like me and you've been doing the walking and you're like, okay, I think it's time to up my mileage or maybe increase my pace and work on those things. Or maybe it's, man, I gotta get my snacking under control. And it's not so much that you want to, do these external things, but it's all about building the best version of you. Why are you choosing to do it? I think that's a really great question. And it's a question that I've been asking myself. Why do I want to do this? Because I think I'm at a place where I'm just tired of choosing it for superficial reasons. I turned 40 this year, which I know some of you will laugh at because you're either beyond it or you're well below it. But I'm telling you, there's something that clicked in my brain the minute that number rolled around, and I went, "Man, I'm wasting time. I'm wasting time." And I just want to be the best version of myself. I want to be able to give people the best of me and not the worst of me. And if it means that I've got to get some other things under control to be able to make that happen, then I need to stop and I need to assess those things. And I need to figure out what's going to create the best version of me to be able to love people better and give people the best version of myself. And sometimes that means taking more time for myself to make that happen. So, who do you want to be in 2022? What do you want to do in 2022 to get off of the merry-go-round of the constant dieting, to not think about this as a diet anymore, but as the new way or the way that you want to live? I don't know. It's just some thoughts to think about. It's things that I'm thinking about going into 2022. And I'd love to hear from you. If you already know and you're like, okay, Erin, I've got this down. I know what I want to do. I know who I want to be. Shoot me an email, realwwtalk@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And of course, you're invited into our Facebook group. It's the most incredible community. You can find Real WW Talk on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course, streaming to YouTube. Wish you a great 2022. I hope that you get started on your goals or keep going on the goals that you already have. And remember that sometimes doing the program 50% of the way is way better than doing it 0%. Just show up for yourself, give yourself some wins, and that helps build the discipline and the consistency and the habits, and ultimately the best version of you that you want to build. Happy New Year.